Our next stop was New Orleans, Louisiana. We stayed at Xavier University. After a night's rest, the group was excited to explore yet another new city and to help the community rebuild.
My program day 2, community service week.
Going out there, do some Red Cross work, help the community out. So it's gonna be a lot of hands-on work, brothers. That's why we looking like we looking, man. You know what I'm saying? Brothers about to get real dirty. Right. Down and dirty. It's for the people, it's for the community, So
we here at breakfast. I don't even know what day it is, really. We've been moving so fast. So many events we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna be doing some reconstruction in the city. Hopefully the locals appreciate it. I know we will. It's gonna be empowering. The whole movement of the rebuilding the Katrina, man, from the victims, man. It'll be crazy. Y'all stay tuned.
Before our tour of New Orleans, the guys played and joked around. The mood was peaceful, and it was clear that a bond of brotherhood had been formed. But the playful mood quickly changed when it became apparent that the reality of New Orleans was no joking matter.
You can see the boats that are still scattered out around here. When we first got back to New Orleans in November, actually when I first got back to New Orleans, they were reporting, that was in November, they were reporting after the storm, November right after the storm, they were reporting 150,000 boats on the ground. So before they moved the cars, before they moved the trees, before they moved the electrical posts and the houses, they had to get the boats out. They had to get, so it was just a process. A major process, and particularly back here in the Ninth Ward. And this is to your right is one of the dumps that they've been fighting about. There are dumps all over the state now, the areas that aren't licensed or aren't registered dumps, but have become, some of them have been, what do they call it, when the eminent domain, the government is taking property and decided we need to dump here. Some of them were existing landfills that had reached their limit. But because there's so much debris that need to go, they went on top of their limit. Then others are private landfills with people who just own property, not doing anything with it, or taking people's trash. So there's a big argument about what to do with the trash that's been generated as well. And then, we had over 300,000 cars on the street. And this is the industrial canal again that connects the Mississippi River on our left to Lake Pontchartrain on our right. And you can tell this whole New Orleans East thing, it was a swamp at one time. It's a swamp now. So, and this, on this side, this is the other levee. You can see they use concrete barriers here. That's actually a floodgate. They can manage the control of the water by opening the gates right there. So if they want the water on this side, they can push it on this side. Depending on where the water comes from, they can manipulate it. They thought they could manipulate it. Didn't really work. They lost everything back here. They had over 90%, 95% of their properties, business, commercial and residential, was destroyed in St. Bernard Parish. Compared to 80% in Orleans Parish, but Orleans Parish is about 3 times the size as St. Bernard Parish.
Our first stop was Sisters of the Holy Family,
well, listen, thank you so much
an
for coming.
all-girls Catholic school.
What we're going to do today, first of all, let me tell you, we're Sisters of the Holy Family, and we're all black nuns in this religious community. I think it would be of interest to you to know that we were founded before emancipation. We do mostly education and care of the elderly. So behind this facility is our high school for girls, grades 6 to 12. And of course, all of that's flooded, and we're trying to get some help from a friend called FEMA. You ever heard of them?
Yeah,
everybody has heard of FEMA. Yeah, they make you suffer. But we never board up to prepare for the hurricane, believe it or not. What we did was to pick up all of the trash cans that were on the ground and lock them up because they would act as ballistic missiles, in the wind. We never reflect on what we really mean to the people of the city. But when we were here in January, anytime we came out of the hotel, people stopped us on the streets. Just everywhere we went to say how happy they were to see us. And they said that gave them so much hope because there was so much talk of New Orleans being abandoned. But we have a mission here, and our mission is to help the poor and to help those people who are disenfranchised. This is the work that we've been doing for over 150 years here in the city, and it has made a significant difference. And we saw that when people told us that it made a great difference to them just to see us. And then when we told them that we were actually moving back and that we were staying here, not just visiting, some of them just kept us forever and ever. And then they began to pour out their sorrows and their pains. So it was an opportunity for them to grieve, but it also gave them hope.
There are no words that can describe the devastation Katrina had on New Orleans. Block after block, mile after mile, completely destroyed. It appears that nature waged a war against humanity. Schools, office buildings, hospitals, apartments, homes, shopping centers, amusement parks, all gone. The citizens of New Orleans lost everything. And although much rebuilding has been done, there is still much more that needs to be done. And it is clear it will be years before New Orleans becomes the vibrant city it once was. But what remains is a small but strong group of citizens that are dedicated to rebuilding the place they still call home.
We wasn't expecting this thing, that's for sure. And it devastated the majority of the city. And we're doing pretty good with the recovery. Slow. If the politicians can get their thing together, get us some of them funds, be a whole lot better. We're looking anywhere from $70,000 at least to do it, and it's pretty much on its way now. We had some students that came last week and helped us do sheetrock in it. Now we just want to kind of take the old weatherboards off to put insulation in it. Of course, back in the day, they didn't have the sort of insulation that was needed for these houses, and so now it's going to be done right with installation.
In this neighborhood, most of you will be in this neighborhood. These folks, blue-collar workers who sent their children to school to become teachers, lawyers, doctors, that generation moved out. They went to the suburbs, but now they're coming home because the suburbs got washed up, and it's cheaper to fix these. So they're coming home. You'll see, we'll watch the neighborhood, you'll see trailers in a lot of yards, you'll see people living in some of the houses, and you'll see people coming home. So our neighborhood is about to come back. So I want you to be aware of that. Anything else I'm leaving out? Look, whatever you do today, we appreciate it.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Do them safely, huh?
Yep, you gotta be lucky. Once you fall off that ladder, you're fired. Ain't no insurance on this job, all right? No insurance on this job. And you don't want to go to the hospital in New Orleans because it's a long wait. One hospital open. You don't want to be there. All right, so y'all be careful. Y'all be careful as you work. The nails all around the place. Watch where you step, all right?
It was time to do less looking and more working. The group decided to be part of the solution and lend a hand